Hi everyone, ScorpionBytes here, I hope you're doing well. In today's video, we're going to learn about Java expressions and operators. So first, let's see what Java expressions are. Expressions in Java are composed of operands and operators. Now let's see what operands and operators are. Operands are basically the values or the variables on which the operations are performed. On the other hand, operators are symbols that perform certain operations on variables and values. In Java, there are 7 types of operators: arithmetic operators, assignment operators, relational operators, logical operators, bitwise operators, unary operators, and ternary operators. In this video, we're going to see only arithmetic, assignment, relational, and logical operators because they are the most important ones for beginners. I'm going to explain bitwise, unary, and ternary operators in a separate video. Good, so now let's also see some examples. First, let's look at arithmetic operators. As the name suggests, arithmetic operators are used to perform arithmetic operations on variables. In Java, we have 5 different arithmetic operators: for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the modulo operator, or the remainder after the division. Now, let's have a look at this example here. First, we have two variables, a, which is equal to value 10, and b, which is equal to value 5. In order to get the sum of the two values, we use the addition operator. By the way, this is an example of expression here, because we have two operands, a and b, and an operator, the plus sign. Similar for difference, we use the subtraction operator. And same for multiplication, division, and the modulo operator. Now let's run the program to see the results. So as expected, the sum is 15, the difference is 5, the product is 50, the result of the division is 2, and the remainder is 0. Now let me explain a little bit more about the modulo operator if you're not familiar with it. So the modulo operator, or the remainder after division, as the name suggests, is what remains after the division is performed. So in our case, 10 divided by 5 will get us 2. And the remainder will be 0 because 5 times 2 equals exactly 10. But for example, if we would replace 10 with 11, then the remainder will be 1 because 11 is basically 5 times 2 plus 1. So this right here is the remainder. Also, if instead of 11 we would use 12, then the remainder will be 2 because 12 equals 5 times 2 plus 2. Now let's run the program with a equal to 11 to see the result. So as you can see, the remainder is 1 in this case. Also, if we would set a to, let's say, 16, then in this case, 16 is basically 5 times 3 plus 1. So the remainder will be again 1. As you can see, the remainder is 1 as expected. Again, if for example we would use 17, this time the remainder will be 2 because 5 times 3 equals 15 and we need to add 2 more in order to get 17. Let's also run the program, and as you can see, the remainder is 2. Now let's talk a little bit more in detail about the division. So when it comes to division, we basically have two main cases. First case, when both the operands are integers, the result will also be an integer. And the second case, when one of the operands is a floating point number, the result will also be a floating point number. Now let's see some examples. Let's say I will declare an integer called integer division, and I will assign the value 5 divided by 2 to it. Let's also declare a double called division, and also assign the value of 5 divided by 2 to it. And now let's also print those two variables. I will also comment those lines to make the output more readable. So let's run the program and see the output. So as you can see, integer division is 2 and division, which is a double, is 2.0. But the problem here is that 5 divided by 2 it's actually equal to 2.5. And we didn't get that result, neither by using an integer nor by using a double. And the problem here is that both operands are basically integers. So what happens is the result is also treated as an integer. So 5 divided by 2 will be rounded down to just 2. So when we store the result of this division in an integer, we'll get 2 because it is an integer. And when we'll store the result of the integer division in a double, we'll get 2.0 because even if we use double as a result, the division itself still returns a rounded value because both of the operands are basically integers, so the result is expected to also be an integer. So in order to overcome this, we just need to make one of the operands a floating point number. So instead of dividing 5 to 2, let's divide 5 to 2.0. And let's run the application again. So as you can see, this time we get the correct value in our division variable, which is a double. Also, if we would try to use floating point division here, it will not be possible because 5 divided to 2.0 is a floating point division and we cannot store its value in an integer. So as you can see, we already got this error that the provided type is double and the required type is int. The provided type is double because we used a floating point number as one of our operands, so the result of the division will be considered a floating point number 2. Good, so now let's also see some examples for relational operators. Relational operators are used to compare two variables, and they always return a boolean. In Java, we have 6 relational operators. We have the equal to operator, which checks if two variables are equal, the not equal to, which checks if two variables are not equal. Then we have the greater than operator, which checks if the first variable is greater than the second one. Similar, we have less than operator. Then we have the greater than or equal to operator, which checks if the first variable is greater than or equal to the second variable. And similar, we have less than or equal to operator. Now let's have a look at this example here. First, we declare a variable x equal to 10. Then, we declare a variable y equal to 8. After this, we declare a boolean variable is equal, and we assign the value of the comparison x equal to y to it. The value of is equal will be false because 10 is not equal to 8. Similarly, we declare a boolean variable is greater, and we assign the value of the comparison x greater than y to it, which will be true because 10 is greater than 8. And we also declare a boolean variable is greater or equal, and we assign the value of the comparison x greater than or equal to 10, which will be true because 10 is equal to 10. So now let's run the program and see the output. So as you can see, x is equal to y is false, x is greater than y is true, and x is greater than or equal to 10 is also true. Alright, so now let's move on to logical operators. Logical operators are a special kind of operators that can be applied to Boolean values. In Java, as in the most programming languages, we have 3 logical operators. So we have the logical AND operator, the logical OR operator, and the logical NOT operator. Now let's see how each of these operators work. First, let's look at logical AND operator. The thing with the logical AND operator is that it is true only when both the operands are true. So, as you can see in this table, when both A and B are true, the result of A and B is also true. If any of the operands A or B are false, then the result will also be false. Now, what about logical OR operator? Well, this time, logical OR operator is false only when both of the operands are false. So as you can see in the table, when both A and B are false, the value of A or B is also false. Otherwise, if any of A or B have the value true, the value of A or B is also true. Let's also look at the logical NOT operator. This basically reverses the value. So if A is true, then not A is false. And if A is false, then not A is true. Now let's have a look at this code example. So we have two variables, yes, which is equal to true, and no, which is equal to false. Then we have another Boolean variable called endResult, which is equal to yes, logical and no. So since no is equal to false, the result of yes and no will also be false. Then we have another Boolean variable called orResult, which is equal to yes or no. And since yes is equal to true, the result of yes or no is also true. And finally, we have a not_result Boolean variable, which is equal to not true, which will result in false. Let's run the program and see the output. Alright, so finally, let's have a look at assignment operators. As the name suggests, assignment operators are used to assign a value to a variable. The most used one is the assign operator, which we already used multiple times. But there are also some composed assignment operators that first perform an arithmetic operation and then assign the resulting value to the variable. So we have add and assign operator. We also have subtract and assign operator, and similar for multiplication, division, and modulo. Also, there are some bitwise assignment operators, but I will cover everything related to bitwise operations in another video. Now let's quickly check this example. First, we declare a variable called p, and we assign the value 10 to it. Then, we use the add and assign operator to add 5 to this variable. So, this instruction here is basically equivalent to p equal to p plus 5. Then, we use the subtract and assign operator to subtract 3 from p. So again, this line here is equivalent to p equal to p minus 3. Similarly, we use the multiply and assign operator to multiply the value of p by 2. And since here p was already 12, now p will be 24. Then we use the division and assign operator to divide p by 4. So 24 divided by 4 will be 6 now. And then we use the modulo and assign operator to assign to p the remainder of the division of p divided by 5. So the remainder of 6 divided by 5 will be 1. To save some time, this time I will not print the values anymore. Good, so now in the last part of this video, let's see how we can combine operators in expressions. An expression in Java is basically any valid combination of operators, variables, and constants that evaluates to a single value. Also, Java follows the order of operations, also known as operator precedence. So, just like in math, multiplication and division are performed before addition and subtraction. But you can use parentheses to explicitly specify the order. Now let's have a look at this example here. We declare an integer result, and we assign the value of an expression to it. Variables a, b, and p are the ones used in the previous examples. So in this example here, we first take the value of a and add 1 to it. Then we take the value of b and subtract 2 from it. Then we multiply a plus 1 by b minus 2. And after this, we take the value of p and add 3 to it. And we divide the result of a plus 1 multiplied by b minus 2 by p plus 3. Let's run the program to see the output. So as you can see, a is 17, b is 5, and p is 1. So this expression here is basically 17 plus 1, so 18, multiplied by b minus 2, so 3, and divided by p plus 3, so 1 plus 3, we get 4. So this is equal to 54 divided by 4, which is 13.5. But since we use integer division here because all of our operands are integers, the result will be rounded to 13. And that's also the result that we obtain here. Alright, that's all for today, thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, it will help me a lot. And of course, if you have any questions or suggestions, drop a comment below. With that being said, keep learning and I'll see you next time.